Let's start with, are you reading closely and looking? And let's circle the question mark and go to where you see the word how. Put your finger on how. It says, how many blooms were on all of the flowers? Cross out the R and cross out the U. Now let's read the details. Put your finger on Mr. It says, Mr. Green bought flowers with 6 flowers in each pack. He bought 6 packs of flowers. If each flower had 2 blooms on it, how many blooms were on all of the flowers? So let's cross out the R and let's find some clue words to circle. So I know this problem is about Mr. Green. I know that Mr. Green was buying some flowers, and I know that he bought 6 packs of flowers. If you don't know what a pack of flowers looks like, it just looks like this. You may have seen something similar in a store. He bought 6 packs of flowers, and there were 6 flowers in each pack. So in this pack, there would be 6 flowers. If each flower had 2 blooms, so let's go ahead and circle that each flower had 2 blooms, we need to figure out how many blooms. Go ahead and circle how many blooms were on all of the flowers. So I'm pretty sure that that means that each of the flowers had 2 buds on it, and the buds are the part where the flower actually comes out, just like this one where it breaks off into 2. So now that we've circled everything, let's go ahead and cross out the L. We didn't need to label, and now it's 3-step time. So go ahead and draw your 3-step process, and let's answer the question, what should I do first? My main idea. My main idea is going to say, how many blooms are on all of the flowers? My next question is, what do I know? Well, I know that this problem is about Mr. Green, and I know that he bought 6 packs of flowers with 6 flowers in each pack. And I also know that each flower had 2 blooms on it. So our next question, how can I represent that in a strip diagram? We can think about that by using Unifix cubes. So let's pretend that this is a pack of flowers. He didn't just buy 1, he bought 6. So let me count 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these are his 6 packs of flowers, and inside of each pack, he had 6 flowers in each. So let me go ahead and write 6 in each of my groups. So what I just did with the Unifix cubes is exactly what our strip diagram is going to look like. So let's go ahead and write that this problem is about Mr. Green, and Mr. Green had some flowers. Mr. Green bought 6 packs of flowers, so let's draw our 6 packs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's label underneath 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And inside of each pack, he had 6 flowers. So in the first one, he had 6 flowers. In the second one, he had 6 flowers. And in each of them, he had 6 flowers. What we need to figure out is how many total flowers he had. So now that we've drawn our first strip diagram, let's go ahead and match this up with something on our action poster. Let's match it up with a yellow action word. It matches with put together equal sets because we see the same number coming together again and again and again. And the operation for that is multiplication. So let's write our clue off to the side, and now let's write our number sentence. So the number that I see again and again and again is the 6, and I see the 6 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So that's 6 groups of 6, and that should equal our product, because product is the fancy word that we call the answer to a multiplication number sentence. So now that we have that, because these are small numbers, we can go ahead and sing the 6 song. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36. So that means that our product is 36. And that 36 needs to go as our total number of flowers, where the question mark is. So let's write in 36. And let's see if we've answered the question. So the question says, how many buds are on all of the flowers? We haven't answered that yet because we've only answered how many flowers there are. But now that we know how many flowers there are, now we can figure out how many buds there are in total. So let's go ahead and draw another strip diagram. This is still about Mr. Green, and this time we're looking for the amount of buds that he has on the flowers, for the amount of blooms. So let's go ahead and draw our strip. And let me go back to my details. It says each flower had 2 blooms on it. So let's pretend this time that this is a flower. How many blooms does it have? Well, it has 2. But he didn't just have one flower, he had 36 of them. On the second flower, it still has 2 blooms. On the third flower, he still has 2 blooms. Each flower has 2 blooms, so I could just keep pulling out Unifix cubes and keep going and going and going and going and going until I had 36 of them, but I'm not going to do that. And I'm going to show you how you can draw this without doing that. So let's go ahead and start off with our very first flower. Our first flower has how many blooms? 2. Our second flower has how many blooms? 2. What about a third one? 2. Each of them has 2, and I could keep going and going and going, but I don't have enough space and I don't have enough time. So I'm just going to put in a ... because I know that there are 36 flowers, so I know I'm going all the way to the 36th flower, and I know that the very last flower also has 2 blooms, because each of the flowers has 2 blooms. And now I can figure out what my total is, because right now I don't know. So let's match up our strip diagram with something on our action poster. If you take a look, I don't want you to be confused. I know we've been working out a lot of division problems, and I know that whenever you see the ... usually it means take away equal sets. But this time, it doesn't. The reason why is because in take away equal sets, you don't know your number of groups. But this time, we do. We know that there are 36 flowers, so don't get tricked. This one actually matches up with put together equal sets, because you see the same number again and again and again. Here we see the 2 again and again and again, and we know how many groups there are. So put together equal sets matches up with multiplication. So let's write our clue off to the side. Remember, the only reason why I put the ... was so I wouldn't have to waste time or waste space drawing 36 boxes to represent the 36 flowers. So now that we have that, we can go ahead and write our multiplication number sentence. I know I see the 2 again and again and again, and I see it 36 times. So that's 36 groups of 2 equals our product. So for this one, we could use a multiplication array model because we don't know the 36 song, and our 2 song doesn't go all the way to 36. But because we only need the 36 2 times, we can just add it up. Here's the 36 one time, and here's the 36 the second time. So let's go ahead and add this. 6 and 6 make 12. So we have to regroup. And 3 and 3 make 6. Plus 1 is 7. So our total is 72. That means our product would be 72. That's A.